Yeah. Okay. So it actually starts like even before having my own business and everything,
Hmm.
because I have like two opposite parents. My mom, she'll save a penny anywhere she can, you know? And my dad is like, well, we have money, we should spend it, you know?
That's my parents too.
Yeah, so completely opposite. So I've always been somewhere in the middle where it's like, well, I want to
Mm,
have savings, but I also want to splurge a little bit
mm,
whenever I can, you know? And so there's been points in my life where I've had like no money. The first time was in college because
mm.
we're we're struggling in college, and I remember I only had money for ramen, so like I've
Yeah.
been there before. And it's crazy because I feel like a lot of people have this perception that I've always been this spoiled girl, like because my dad's always done so well.
Mm,
But like I told you, it's because he works from sundown to sun up, I
yeah.
mean, whatever that is,
Yeah.
whatever that's saying. And so it's like I've always appreciated his work, and I've never felt spoiled just because he, like I said, is willing to spend, whatever he makes. But
Hmm.
anyway, so when I was in the position of being able to move out, I really planned it. I said, I'm gonna have my
Mm,
savings. I'm gonna make sure I have enough to pay the bills
yeah.
for X amount of months. I think I had enough for like 3 months, and we'll be
You built
good,
up your emergency fund.
hmm Yeah, exactly. Which I feel like is something that not a lot of people prepare you to do. Like,
Hmm.
it was just something like that I thought of, but I feel like more people should really,
Do that. Yes.
yeah, do that. So anyway, so when I moved out, I was like, I'm good. Like, I was feeling, like on top of the world. I was finally my own place. This is what I've been working for. This is one of the
Mm,
goals that I've wanted to reach, especially my own home for my daughter and I. And so it felt so good. So then when I was starting to run out of money, it was kind of this thing where I was almost
mm,
in denial of it.
yeah.
Because I was like, there's no way, like, where did it all go? But it was,
Yeah.
it was furniture and like the realization of bills, like they come every month. So it's funny too, because I always tell people like I felt like I was 18, like moving out for the first time, like all of these
Mm,
like shocking factors of what it actually means to be self-sufficient or self employed, but also like have your own place. Like it's not
mm,
all like that it's cut out to be. I mean, it can because I've made it that way now, but in the beginning, I was like, oh my gosh. So I was starting to run out of money, and I was also feeling like kind of a cloud again of depression,
mm,
just because I had so many expectations of moving out, especially because I was at home for so long. Like I'm
mm,
29, I moved out at 28.
mm,
So I felt like I had all these expectations of I'm gonna feel so free. I'm gonna be able to decorate my house the way I want. Like if I want louder music, my parents can't tell me no, But eventually, like that kind of faded because I was like, well, now I have more responsibilities. Like now I have
mm.
a whole house to clean versus just my little solo room in their house. Now, I have to feed us 3 times a day, plus snacks and all this stuff. So all the pressure was just really getting to me. And I remember even calling my cousin. I was like, how do you do it? Like, um, so yeah, I was starting to feel the pressure. And then again, like having my emergency fund running out, I really thought to myself, like, what am I gonna do?
Mhm,
And it was one of those instances where I didn't want to reach out for help just yet, like
mm,
I was like, maybe like I can think of something because I was about to finish working on my orders that I had. And because I was feeling this cloud over me, I thought, well, I can't take on new orders because I won't be able to fulfill them, like just out of, like
mm,
this mental state that I was in. I knew like there's no way. So I kind of took some time and I was really budgeting and kind of just like scraping by.
mm,
And even with my daughter, I feel like she didn't even notice it because we did like move in with a bunch of stuff that we already had. And so at the time, I was like, well, I can't let it show that I'm struggling, just for her sake. And almost
mhm,
for mine too. I was like, I have to prove that I can get myself out of this before I go, running like to my parents and saying like, please help me,
mm,
So yeah, at the time when I was running out of money to the point where I didn't have enough for groceries, I just started thinking like, what can I sell? Like
mm,
um So I was looking around and I was like, well, I still have all this fabric. So I remember there was fabric that I wanted to use for a new launch. And they said, forget the launch, like I need food, So I sold the fabric. Luckily, like it's custom fabric. So, I got a good chunk of change out of that. And I was like, all right, we're gonna do good, we're gonna be okay. And I even had like some digital products that I had on Etsy, and I was like, okay, those are still selling, like there's still some money flow, like we'll be okay.
Mhm.
Um, but then once those kind of were out of the question and we were really like, almost negative, that's when I was like, I can't do it. It almost
Mhm.
felt like back to that initial point of how my motherhood journey started. It's like, wow, I failed again.
Mm.
But then that's when I did get an order because my website was still up. And so I got an order and I thought to myself, this is it. Like this means we're gonna be okay. And because I had felt so low, that's why I felt so high once I got the order. And that's why I wanted to share with my TikTok audience. I was like, man, my TikToks have been so sad recently because that's just the way that I was feeling. I was like, let me share like this little sprinkle of joy to them.
Mm.
And before I knew it, like more people wanted to help out. And it wasn't this thing of like, oh my gosh, guys, like, please help us. It was just me saying I'm so grateful to this person that ordered because now we have money for our groceries this week. Like now I have something to look forward to, and you literally helped us when we really needed it. And I think again, like people resonated with that. They saw my gratitude, which was out of this world at the time. Like, thank you. Um, so yeah, my now my relationship with money, I'm still in a how was I heard this term the other day. It's like I'm still in a like I don't have it mindset.
Mm.
Just because I don't want to get to that point again. Just because I've seen how stressful it is to think like, what if I can't pay my bills this month? And now that I have a daughter that relies on me, I don't want to get to that
Mm.
point. But I am still, going out and out to the mall and stuff like that. So I'm trying to balance it. I'm trying to find that balance of, yeah, we're good, but I don't want to splurge any chance I get. I don't want to overdo it,
Mm.
but I also want to make sure, especially because in my business, it's so up and down. Like it's
Yeah.
not a consistent paycheck every 2 weeks. It's always up and down. So I want to make sure that uh I have this mindset of, well, in case anything happens, like
Mm.
I don't want to
Like,
overspend when I don't need to.
yeah. I think with like the whole like money mindset, I think one of
Hmm.
the mindsets that we need to have is the abundance mindset, where it's like I don't know how to explain it, but it kind of like talks for itself. It's like you have to feel like you deserve this money and like
Hmm.
everything that feels like everything you want is like it's gonna come because again there's an abundance of it. So there's an abundance of money, and they say that money is energy. So if you feel like you don't deserve money, that money is hard to come by, or money goes away really quick, then that's what's gonna happen because again it's energy. So energy is gonna like, okay, I don't want to be here, bye. And so
Hmm.
we gotta change those thoughts to like making money is hard to like money. I don't know. Where's like money is if I have the solution to it, then I'm able to sell this, and that, and then money's gonna come to me. I don't know. This is just like me out of my head, on top of my head. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's like changing those perspectives. And then there's like this at the end of the year, I did this money letter where it's like
Hmm.
you write down. I'll put a link on the description for like those who want to check it out and probably have the explanation better. But pretty much what it was is like um as talking about like how you treated money, and then asking for like forgiveness, and then talking about like the commitment that you're gonna do now with money and how you're gonna treat it, because how he explained it is that um money, and you want to treat money as a relationship. Like someone,
Mhm.
like if he or she, money, whatever pronoun you want to give it, if he or she was your friend, then you wouldn't be treating her like, oh yeah, I don't, you know what, I don't deserve you, like stay away from me. It's more like, oh,
Uh-huh.
like I want you next to me, I want you
Mhm.
being with me in these experiences of like being able to like how you like splurge out or like buy this thing because I can't afford it, instead of like saying like, oh, you know what, I don't want to do that. So yeah, and then like the whole thing of like actual financial education, because there's like the logical side and then there's like the emotional side. So yeah, that's like super important. Have you read like any books in regards to like money?
No, I haven't just because like I said, like my relationship with money is that people assume I have it, so I feel like
Mm,
I don't know, it's this weird dynamic of I don't want people to ever see me as like not humble,
mm,
but I don't know where that comes from. I think it's just because I've had like judgmental family members in the past
mm,
where who have said like, "Oh, you're only well off because of your dad," or
mm,
so like if people in my family are telling me that, then in a way, it's like I almost believe it. So it's crazy that you said like that we should have an abundance mindset because I try to like manifest, and
yes, I
and
love
I'm
that.
I'm all about I'm all about it, but for some reason manifesting money just I don't know it. I never want to come across like money hungry, So it's hard for me to I guess that's one of the things where I don't feel like I deserve money, but it's like, why, Carla? Like I've worked hard for it.
Yeah,
And there's been times where I've seen my bank account and I'm like, "Ooh, that's pretty good."
like look at that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
there's oh man, there's oh being ambitious. It's like
Hmm.
people think that you shouldn't be ambitious because again, how people are gonna see it is like, oh yeah, it's bad. But in reality, like no, like having ambition is good. Like you wanting more money is good. However, I think like where people um can say like they see it wrong is because when there's like this, I don't know where I saw it, but it's like money is like if you have whoever you are like now, it's like whatever if you have more money, that personality, like who you are, is just gonna amplify. I think that's the word, amplify more. So if
Hmm.
you're like a greedy person, even when you don't have money, when you have money, you're gonna be more greedy. But if you're like humble and then you have more money, and that's like you're true, like you're truly humble, then once you have that money, you're gonna share with other people. You're gonna
Hmm.
donate to communities that need it. You're gonna create like these little projects that money allows you to do. And if you didn't have that money, you're just gonna be saying like, oh, I could help these people, but I don't have the money. So how am I gonna do it? But if you
Hmm.
have like that good relationship with money, and it all goes back to like looking at your limiting beliefs, or like how you said, like I have these judgmental family members, but where are they? Not to judge your family or anything.
Yeah.
It was like,
Uh-huh.
where are they now? Like who are they truly for?
Hmm.
Like if they're telling me this, should I really be following their advice? And it was the same video that I talked about with like Marco Antonio Regila Nila. She said she's so cute because she's like I'm gonna give this advice, but it's like people are not gonna like it.
Hmm.
And then she like giggled. It's like so funny. And then she was like, and then in this example, she said about her mom, but like this could be anybody really. She's
Uh-huh.
like, mom, if my mom like tells me this, like gives me advice where it's not that great, or like that, or like you shouldn't be making a lot of money. Let's say she's like, tell your mom this, or put whoever family member or whatever person is like, I'm not I'm gonna like not say like how she said it, but the
Hmm.
gist of it is like I'm not gonna follow your advice, because if I follow your advice, I'm gonna end up having the life that you had, and I don't like your life, so I'm not following it. And I was like, what?
Wow,
I
mic
was
drop.
literally when I heard that, I was like, that's crazy, and it's true though. It's true.